And welcome to Dylan and Ross Save Sports. I am your host, as always, Dylan. And joining me today is and Ross. You can find me on Twitter at Delise, and find Ross on Twitter at Ross Jackson Nola. How you doing today, Ross?
I'm good, man. How are you doing? I'm glad to be here with you.
I'm doing good, man. How you doing? I'm glad to be here with you.
I'm good. I bought a planner so that I can start to organize my day because my iPhone calendar just isn't doing enough.
What is it? What more needed to do?
I need more hours in the day, and I can't have them. So the problem is that on my Apple, like on my iPhone calendar, things are just too...
You can only do one thing at once, which, as we all know, Ross does 8 things at once.
There's a little bit of that to where it's like I actually am doing 2 things at the same time, but I need it on my calendar without it looking so overwhelming. But on the other hand, it's just like I need the little breaks in my day to look... It's hard to find them, and so I'm using...
Well, that's just the result of your schedule, right?
Right. But the thing is that I can use this as my personal calendar so that I can always come back to this and say, okay, when are my breaks throughout the day? When do I have a moment? Things like that, and then have all my work stuff on my phone. So that's what I'm trying. I don't know if it's going to work. In fact, I kind of doubt it's going to work, but I'm going to try it. We'll see what happens.
The
problem is that the first thing that I wrote in my personal day planner was a meeting.
Ross, come on, man. Come on, man.
So not starting off on the right foot thus far, but I'm good.
Well, at least you're trying to get a handle on it.
That's right. And you know what? You know what else I have actually in here? I'm going to write it into my calendar and then I'm going to show you. I'm going to write it here. Hold on.
All right. Yeah. Ross is writing.
All right. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah. October. Let's go! Let's go! Woo! Woo! It says wedding day on October 18th. Congratulations, Mr. Ross Jackson.
Thanks, dude. Such a crazy situation with like having to like reschedule all during the pandy. And then finally getting to a point where we could say, okay, we have it. We're good. Everything's good. Because we have everything. Like all of our vendors have been awesome. Everybody's been like, nope, just let us know when you're ready. Let us know when it's happening. You're good. You're paid up. No worry about it, all that other stuff. So it's like, it's been awesome, but it's just been hell trying to like find the day and everything. So now we have it, Monday, October 18th. And of course we're doing it Mondays because we're going to have a ton of theater people that are going to be there, which means that they only have the day off on Monday. So.
Oh man.
Awesome, it's going to be like a bunch of theater people and it's going to be like you and Maddie.
I'm ready for it. That's so good. I'm so happy. That's
Thanks,
awesome,
man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Although, so it's October 18th. You said
yes.
That's Monday, October 18th. Let me just double check. Sorry, Ross. The Bills have Monday Night Football.
You really think that we won't be done before the football game?
I mean,
or that the football game won't be on at the wedding?
I'm joking.
Come on.
It's Bills Titans, Ross. No, I'm joking.
You mean Bills versus the Julio Joneses?
Maybe one of these days. maybe the Titans will get Damian Lillard because everybody's trying to get him.
As well, they should do.
While the Blazers are not yet eliminated from the playoffs.
Oh my goodness. Well, we'll talk more about that as well as the other things that happened in the NBA yesterday. What a wild day. But do you have a favorite thing from Twitter today?
It's okay. Well, let's talk about this. I want to try and make sense of this, Ross.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get the full details of this out. So the Chicago Sky made a move this morning.
Yes.
This week. So so flash back to the draft. They draft Shia Heel, a guard out of Australia. Whenever a lot of people wanted them to draft Dana Evans, Ross.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so they passed on Dana Evans and went and drafted Shannon Neal. But today, the Chicago Sky traded Shiloh Hill. Yeah, Shiloh Hill. I just mixed the two names up. So the Chicago Sky traded Shiloh Hill and draft assets to the Wings for Dana Evans.
Ooh.
So the Sky passed on Dana Evans in the draft, and then we're like, "Oh, that was a mistake.
That was a bad choice."
And so they traded the person they drafted instead of her, and more draft assets get hurt from the Dallas Wings.
Wow. So what does... Is that a good choice? Is that a good call? I think that's a good call.
I mean, they were like, oh, I mean, they admitted they messed up, and all they're really missing is their third round pick. So it's now just cost them their third round pick, basically.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's not terrible. It's just kind of confusing.
It's just really confusing. Like imagine the Falcons being like, we shouldn't have drafted Kyle Pitts.
But
we should have drafted Justin Fields.
I mean, it is they did realize their mistake with Dana Evans then coming in and automatically coming in scoring 12 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal and a half a game. So then they're like, all right, well, I guess we should have just taken her.
Yeah, that's funny. Isn't that kind of strange that they agreed to trade her away?
Yeah, for Shiloh Heel, who has 2 points per game.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
That is a very confusing situation.
But just that whole thing is confusing to me.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that was Dana Evans's. No.
Twin sister of the same name.
Maybe that was her college stats, or something. Because I think that just must have been her college stats. Never mind.
Got it. Yeah.
So neither of them are playing at all on their respect. It's just a weird situation.
Oh, that is a weird situation. Wow.
Yeah, I don't really get it. They're both also 5'6" and small. It's really weird. It's a whole situation. It's weird. I think Dana Evans has more upside than Shiloh Hill, though. So, but what happened really? What is the situation here? But also Dana Evans is older by a couple of years. It's a whole thing, Ross.
Wow.
So that was my thing.
That's your WNBA update today. Confusing WNBA update by Dylan Sanders.
Let's talk one more thing about the WNBA. Let's take a look at the league.
Yes.
Seattle Storm, first place. Shockers, 6-1. How do you? I was playing WNBA. NBA 2K. I was playing the WNBA mode, and I was playing in a play career mode. I was just like simming through it, see what happens. And the Seattle Storm ended up drafting Paige Beckers in a couple years. Oh. And I was just like, oh, well, the rich get richer.
Imagine going from Sue Bird to Paige Beckers.
Incredible.
Pretty dope.
I was sad though because both Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi both retired after this year.
That's very sad.
It's looking likely.
Don't want to think about that.
With Diana Taurasi being out with injury.
Don't want to think about that.
But Sue Bird is still incredible.
She's wild, dude. It's incredible how good she still is.
She's still able to just come in and take over a game.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Do you think she should just stay another year and reach age 42 playing in the WNBA and just have a 20-year career?
Yes. Absolutely
100%.
Right. That's exactly. I completely agree. And then allow the team to go directly from her to Paige Beckers. That'd be great.
She's having her second best year since 2012, Ross.
That's insane.
There's one year where she did slightly better, and that was 2015. And within that time frame, she's won 3 WNBA championships. And this is her best year in that time frame.
So this you said that it was a slim margin of difference from 2015, like barely ahead of 2015 than the rate that she's playing right now. So this could end up being her best season since 2012.
Yes.
Wow.
And she's even since then she's incredibly more efficient. She's shooting over 50%, which is the first time she's ever done that.
Is Sue Bird the Drew Brees
on 2-point shots? She's shooting 70% on 2-point attempts.
Insane. She's Zion Williamson.
She really is.
Or Zion Williamson is her, technically.
Yeah. Let's give her the respect.
Right.
Also, she's averaging the second most rebounds in her career, Ross. She is 40.
40 and fighting for rebounds, baby. I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
It's incredible. It's just incredible.
It's Go Storm, man.
Go Sue.
Go Sue, go Storm. I love it. So who's in second place? Because we've okay. So the Seattle Storm's in first place, 6-1.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
The Connecticut Sun are 7-2.
Okay, they've been playing really well.
The New York Liberty shot out.
Hey.
5-2.
Hey.
What a turnaround, man.
Right?
What a turnaround. And then rounding out the top 4 is the Atlanta Dream. Starting to get back into it, man.
It's happening.
She's starting to progress. She's feeling it. You had to expect it would be a slow grind for her because she just got done playing.
She literally finished playing in March and then walked onto the court less than a month ago, or over a month ago now. It's insane.
And she's starting to contribute, and you love to see it. On the 25th, she played her most minutes at 17 and took advantage. Scored 9 points, 5 assists. So you love to see it. You love to see it.
So good.
Yeah, incredible. I'm happy. Stats wise, this is one of my favorite parts about it's just so easy to find players, find what they're doing, and stuff like that on WNBA. Other teams, other leagues need to get used to it. Get in on the things. So Liz Cambridge averaging the most points at 28 points per game, right below Stewie, right below her Stewie, also with 28 actually. Stewie is in the top 3 for 3 throws made, top 5 for 3-pointers made. I think she's also in blocks and. Okay, no, wait, here we go. She's in second place for points per game, second place for rebounds per game. She's in there she's just out of range for blocks per game. She's the best fantasy player by far. Do you have an idea of how good Brianna Stewart is? First place for her is 45.2 fantasy points per game, and fifth place is 37. So...
Wow.
Yeah. Sabrina Ionescu, second place in the league in assists.
Right where she, right up there, right up where she belongs.
Yeah. Benijah Laney, Ross, I mentioned, she's going to be one of the biggest moves. Yep. She's third place in the league for points per game with a deadly mid-range game. I'm loving it.
That's great. It's been a fun season. I still can't believe WNBA League Pass is only $17. It's It's probably the best $17 purchase, like specifically $17 purchase I've ever made.
Probably.
It's got to be.
How many specifically $17 purchases have you made?
I guess that's true. It's not a very. Let me say best. It's one of the best between $10 and $20 purchases I've ever made. There'd be a lot of those.
Mm-hmm. You know why I think I like watching the New York Liberty so much, Ross?
Why?
It's because they are my favorite. I love I love offensive basketball. It's so much fun, and I love smart teams and teams that like have a great system and share the ball. And the New York Liberty are in second place in the league for assists per game, and also first in the league in 3-point percentage. So that's a deadly combination.
Yeah.
If you're doing that, if you're shooting the most 3-pointers in the league and also have the best 3-point percentage and also are still in the top 5 for total field goal percentage, you're doing something right.
Man, that's efficient.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely efficiency, and you're sharing the ball, which is great.
Another. So they've made 83 3-pointers as a team this year. Again, fifth place has 50.
Cool.
So they're shooting it.
Yeah.
They're letting it rip.
Yeah.
It's them, the Connecticut Sun, the Seattle Storm. So those are the top 3 teams in the league in 3-point shooting, and those are the top 3 teams in the league. So kind of gives you an idea of where the WNBA is heading, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember last year it was the Chicago Sky that were up there.
Yeah, they had a down year shooting, Ross. They're only shooting 33% per game from 3. And they're the second lowest 3-point attempted team. They've just completely changed. Yeah,
that's the thing.
They've stopped shooting it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it felt like last year they were letting them rip.
Every game. That was what was so exciting about them.
Well, yeah, they averaged 22 3-pointers per game last year, and then this year they're averaging 16.
Yeah,
they're shooting 6 less threes per game.
That's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'd still be in the top 5 for this year. Last year, they'd still be a top 5 team. Which it's really strange, right?
Yeah.
Because if we take a look, I mean, the league as a whole is shooting a lot more threes from last year, but the Sky aren't. But the Sky also 2-5, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Well, you would imagine that because you're 2-5 and you're playing from behind, that you might be shooting more threes, right? Like, wouldn't that make you want? Wouldn't that put you in a position where you felt like you needed to take the higher risk shots?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
And what was their record last year?
Last year they were 12-10.
12-10. Okay, so they were middle of the pack.
Yeah, but I'd rather be middle of the pack than. I guess they're technically still middle of the pack this year, but it'll shake itself out.
Yeah. How are the Indiana Fever doing?
Not good. They're shooting 26% from 3 and shooting more threes than the Sky.
Oh boy.
So yeah, they're 1-8 so far this year.
Yeah. Are they 12th place?
They are tied for 11th with the Minnesota Lynx.
Gotcha.
And just the way but the Minnesota, actually, I would say the Fever in the last place. The Minnesota Lynx have played 4 less games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fun. I like looking at stats, see what teams are doing, see why they might be doing the worst, I mean, like that. Chicago Sky Ross also leading the league in turnovers per game. They're averaging 9 more turnovers than the Las Vegas Aces.
So you're telling me is that they're like the exact opposite of the New York Liberty, who are up there in 3 points attempted, 3-point percentage, and assist. Meanwhile, right, sharing the ball. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky are down at the bottom or near the bottom when it comes to 3-point percentage, 3-point attempts, and giving the ball away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's your losing formula or your winning formula right there.
Chicago Sky might. I was about to make a joke that I'm not gonna make anymore, but they get blocked the most in the league. They get blocked the most.
Got it.
I
have a feeling I know exactly what you were going there because it has a lot to do with blocking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know exactly where you're going there. Oh. All right. We gotta get a break in real quick, and then let's come back and talk some NBA because it was a wild night in the NBA last night. We'll be back here
this morning.
And this morning, that's true. Yeah, and in college basketball this morning too. So we got a lot to talk about on the other side here. Dylan Rossi, Sports Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Oh my goodness. You ever just be on the same wavelength? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, how you doing today, Ross?
I'm good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Oh, guess what? You almost did it. You almost did it, Ross. Oh,
I have stayed up late the last 2 nights.
Go to bed.
And I don't like it.
I've stayed up later than normal the last 2 days too.
Yeah, because I had a friend of mine. Well, not a friend. I mean, well, Megan had an audition, so we worked to prep for that 2 nights ago, and we stayed up late for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then last night, you and Maddie and I were kicking it until late last night, and I can't. I can't. Yes, sir. It's my Magic Johnson moment. I'm not gonna be here.
I'm not gonna be here.
Oh man.
The Eugene Regional. You ready for some baseball in 2 days?
Yep. Ready.
Oh, man, I'm tired.
Me too.
How crazy was that Kia Nurse shot last night?
Oh, man, that was wild.
We might be in a weird night for basketball, Ross, because everything's been all over the place.
Right. It's either going to go wildly or not very good.
With the games that have set up, yes.
Yeah.
I want to go see A Quiet Place Part 2.
Nice.
I started watching a new HBO show. It's pretty good. Pretty good. It's called the Mayor Mare of Easttown.
Oh. All right, here we are. We're about to come back.
Nope.
All right, everybody, we are back. Dylan and Ross say Sports Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Getting to the bottom half hour here. So let's start off with the biggest news. I think there's 2 huge moves happening in the basketball world right now. Let's start with the one that I think is the biggest. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think is the biggest is Coach Krzyzewski of the Duke Blue Devils announcing via Stadium that he plans to retire after this upcoming season. So this is huge for college basketball. This is huge for college sports.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the announcement that everyone sort of wondered about, but no one wanted.
Yeah. Coach K is gone after this year.
Yeah.
What man? Duke's got to be the title favorites, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like going out. I mean, it would be Coach K going out in a blaze of glory. Like, of course.
That's what the world wants. I think we're all going to be Duke fans next year.
Yeah, I think so.
Unless they face LSU, and then I'm all in on LSU destroying them.
Not a bad thing about it.
Yep. But that is huge. How long has he been the coach at Duke?
He has been the coach at Duke since 1980.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time, Ross.
Yeah, 1980 to now. So what is that? 31 years?
That's almost 2 of my life.
Right.
No,
but 41 years, Ross. You can't count, you idiot.
Yeah, it's almost 2 of my years. 2 of my lives. Wild. He's been the coach of Duke.
And he's only lost 361 games during that time.
That's incredible.
And he's won the NCAA tournament 90. Or not won it 97 times, but he's won 97 NCAA tournament games.
How incredible would it be for Coach K to retire after a 42-year career and not be able to fill one of those years with losses?
Man, just insane.
It'd be awesome, right?
Yeah.
Is Duke going to be good next year? I don't know.
They can be. They need to be. They should be. For Coach K. Might have to listen to my Locked on Blue Devils show and get caught up on how good they're going to be. But yeah, no. I mean, it's awesome. Like, I mean, it's going to be awesome. It would be awesome if they had a big successful season, Coach K's last year.
Let's see. Right now, in the way too early top 25, they rank 13th.
Okay. So not big expectations.
No. They're getting the 3rd best player in the country. So it's really depending on how big he's going to be.
I wonder if this jumpstarts recruiting at all for Duke. Players wanting to play,
like if they get a transfer or something.
Yeah, like players if one player who intends to be a one and done or only has 1 year of eligibility left or whatever decides I want to play in Coach K's last year and help him win a championship.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm happy about? UCLA is still in the top 3.
As well, they should be.
So that's gonna be huge. That's gonna be big to follow. But I think I don't know if it's necessarily the biggest news out of the basketball world today, Ross.
What would you say is the biggest news out of the basketball world?
It's that today, Danny Ainge is set to retire, and Brad Stevens is set to take over and not coach anymore.
Wild.
Insane, right?
Wild. So Danny Ainge, of course, the GM of the Boston Celtics. Retiring. I'm just trying to make sure I understand this correctly.
Yes.
He's retiring. And then Brad Stevens, the head coach, is going to move out to the GM spot. And then there's going to be a vacant coaching spot.
Yes. And of course, Ross, it's already happened. The lead candidate is Jason Kidd.
Oh, Lord.
Why does that man keep getting job offers? I want to read this great tweet from Dan Le Batard.
Oh, great.
With a gif of Kyrie Irving. Promised you he'd return. Left. Wrecked your franchise. Returned to stomp on your logo. Wrecked your season and blueprint and franchise and Celtic pride and your historic sports identity. Made your coach stop coaching and evicted a lifetime Celtic off of a power throne. Kyrie wins.
Wow. Wow. Jeez. Ugh. You have to imagine that Kyrie's like watching all of this happening, like this particular part with Danny Ainge coming out and Brad Stevens moving up and everything, and he's got to be pretty relieved he found his way out of there, right?
Oh, 100%.
Like, there's no regret, especially while he's winning. But I would even venture to say that if he wasn't winning, right, or if he wasn't in the playoffs or whatever, that he would still feel pretty good about being in Brooklyn as opposed to being in Boston right
now. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty funny to me. Yeah. And it's going to be really interesting to see, like, what's going to happen with Boston. They're going to look completely different.
Because and it's going to be interesting to watch because the animosity that could come with your former coach trading you away or your former coach not renewing your contract. Like, there's going to be a lot of drama out of Boston this offseason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. It's gonna be fun to watch, and couldn't happen to a better group of people. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Boston. Yeah, no, that's great. You know what's crazy about Boston? I did not know until the other day.
What?
There's no happy hour.
What?
Or anything. Happy hours are illegal in Boston. Like for alcohol and stuff, which isn't it weird because whenever I think of like Boston, I think of drunk Patriots fans,
right,
or drunk Red Sox fans, or drunk Bruins fans. I think of drunk people,
right.
But no, it's there's how do you I feel bad for people having to go through life without a happy hour. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, that feels very
odd.
It feels very like pro corporation, anti public.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. That's just a weird fact I learned about Boston the other day.
It's strange.
Yeah. Strange. But tonight, Ross, could be a very interesting night of basketball. We could see 3 teams move on to the next round.
Mm-hmm. And therefore, 3 teams sent home.
Yeah. And then we get another game of Mavericks-Clippers after tonight still, but someone's going to take a lead in that series.
I hope it's the Mavericks.
The Mavericks could win tonight, and then they have their home court advantage for their first chance to put the Clippers away if they win tonight. Or the Clippers could win and go in, and we could see a Game 7 get forced. Mm-hmm. And see a Game 7 in Staples Center. Also, how funny is it? I just thought about this. How funny we were all screaming about the Staples Center playoff basketball is back, but the Clippers had played at Staples Center. Had played at Staples Center. Whenever like the Lakers play. Yeah, right. The Clippers had already played better. It was like, oh, Staples Center basketball is back.
Oh my goodness.
The night later, whenever the Lakers were playing that.
That's so funny. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
Guy that lives in Los Angeles.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is the way it was scheduled, but I'm pretty sure the Clippers played before the Lakers. Either way, it's hilarious. Oh, yeah, no, they definitely did because the Lakers didn't have home field advantage.
Right. Yeah, no, the Clippers definitely played. There was definitely Staples Center basketball before we were excited about Staples Center basketball.
Which is just funny. That just encapsulates the feeling of the Clippers.
Right. I can confirm that the city was much more excited about Los Angeles Lakers basketball than Los Angeles Clippers basketball.
You could feel it in the city whenever the Lakers were coming.
Yeah, it was way different.
We get to watch Hawks Knicks.
Oh, I don't want that series to be over, man.
I know.
I want more.
I will say, Ross, did you catch any of Lakers Suns last night? Because by the time you were about to watch it, it was a blowout. I watched the beginning of it, and the Valley was rocking. It felt like it's the first time I've been watching a sporting event. You know it's loud whenever the on-court reporter has to yell what they're saying, and he had to like yell at the top of his lungs what he was saying because it was so loud in there. I argue that it was louder than the Garden was ever during those games. Like, it was loud in the Valley.
Yeah.
And man, Ross, if the Lakers get sent home at Staples Center tomorrow, here we have input from Damian Lillard. My team is garbage.
What an amazing moment. What an amazing moment. Dame time in the chat, everybody. Dame time in the chat. My team is garbage.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Dame, we want you out of there, fam. We want better for you. When CJ McCollum stepped out of bounds, I was like, that's it. Dame's out. Dame's done. He's like, I can't mess with y'all.
Oh, man. Ross, can I have a conversation with you? Can I tell you something?
Of course.
Damian Lillard is never going to be a Pelican.
Oh, I know that.
Okay, good.
There's no doubt about that.
Because there are people pushing for it on Twitter, and there's no shot that he goes from Portland to New Orleans in hopes of playing meaningful basketball.
Yeah, no, that's not happening. But 30 fan bases should be interested in trading for Dame Lillard. Like Portland fans should be like, what I got to trade to keep Dame Lillard?
Yeah.
What do we got to do? Like I think, every fan base and every team should want him. But Dame
really had was that the best performance I've ever seen.
It was he set a playoff record for most 3-pointers in a game, dropped 12.
Broke franchise record for points.
Hit 55?
Hit 2 final 5-second shots to send the game into double overtime.
One at end of regulation, one at the end of overtime. Like, insane.
Hit some crazy shots. And just was incredibly efficient while doing it. At one point, he had more points than the Lakers had in their game on 25 less shots.
Right.
As a team. Man, going to this box score and seeing that they lost by 7 just hurts my stomach. 55 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, 17 of 24 from the field, 12 of 17 from 3. CJ about to step out of this team if he does that again.
He needs to step out of the team right now, or Dame, or you do, Dame. Because it's not great, man.
Man, that was one of the most funs I've had watching someone play basketball in a long time.
Man, like I was saying last night while we were watching it that like that was a game that I would be like, oh, you're not a basketball fan? That's fine. Come watch this. Mm-hmm. Like you might not learn anything about the game of basketball because neither of these teams are interested in playing defense, clearly. But it's going to entertain you. It's Trace McGrady's 13 and 30. Like or 13 and 33. Like it was something that anybody and everybody could enjoy. But for the record, for those of you listening, Dylan just tried another tankathon roll, and Houston lost their draft pick yet again. I don't know why he keeps doing this to himself.
I'm just trying to prep myself, Ross.
Yeah, just get yourself ready for disappointment, man. Just in case.
My goodness. That was listen. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for round 2 of the playoffs. We've gotten to the point where most of these series are like, all right, we know where this is going.
Right.
And I'm ready for some of them to end. But I'm really excited for round 2.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for round 2. I hope the Hawks don't end tonight. What if the Knicks come back? That'd be awesome, right?
Yeah, that'd be great. Like they're down 3-1, right?
Yes.
That's the 3-1 comeback that I want to see this year. Is Derrick Rose.
Because they got to win tonight. They got to steal one in the A, and then they'll be in the Madison Square Garden for Game 7. Mm-hmm. I am really just pushing, Ross. I really want it to happen. I really want a Nets-Knicks Eastern Conference Finals.
I would love that.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But can I say something else about the Western Conference?
Of course.
The Jazz are the 1 seed, right? You feel me?
Yeah, right.
They just don't feel like a finalist team. They play really good basketball. They play really smart basketball. But they don't have that guy. Donovan Mitchell isn't that guy yet.
Is Rudy Gobert?
No. They don't have that guy.
Right.
Like Donovan Mitchell is supposed to be that guy, and he might in a couple of years, but I just don't see Donovan Mitchell being like, all right, I'm putting them on my back and we're winning a final series. They can win a playoff series.
Sure.
I just don't see it. I don't see Donovan Mitchell winning them a champion. They just don't seem like a championship team to me.
Yeah, it's tough.
I just don't get that vibe watching them.
Yeah.
Not also just because I don't like watching them. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just don't have fun watching them. I don't have fun watching the Nuggets.
It's a very unique brand of basketball, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, it's like watching the Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I would agree with that.
CJ McCollum's in the chat. CJ McCollum's in the chat now.
Oh my god! So CJ, yo, Dame, I'm sorry, man.
It's going down to the chat, y'all. Oh Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum are here.
Whoa!
Oh wow! Y'all got to get this straightened out before the next game, yo. Yeah, just go ahead and leave it open. Just leave it open for it.
Let's see if I can get these on the sideline. I guess it's not gonna show. But yeah, no. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's so good.
I guess if I do this now,
yeah,
Dame and so CJ good. Coming through in the chat.
A big 4 minutes remaining of the show, everybody. What a big time for this. This is clutch.
Yeah. Man, what else is there going on?
Well, the biggest thing was okay. So let's run through the games tonight. Who can be eliminated?
Damian, if we be losing tomorrow, I'm getting the belt, bro.
This is wild. This is so good. Let's run through the games real quick. The games tonight. Who could be eliminated?
I ain't playing around, bro. Tonight. The Blazers are free from elimination tonight because they don't play. But
that explains why Dame and CJ are here instead of getting ready for the game.
Yeah. So Wizards 76ers kick us off in an hour. Philly leads that series 3-1. They're in Philly. This series is probably over.
Probably.
But there is no Joel Embiid.
True.
Could they go? I would love for Roy Hachimura to have another incredible game.
Please.
And come through. I want that man to succeed so bad. Then we have Hawks Knicks in the Madison Square Garden. The Hawks are up 3-1 in that series. That could end tonight. It'd be hilarious and sad at the same time. Mm-hmm. CJ, no, please. Oh my goodness. Grizzlies Jazz. The Jazz are up 3-1. That seems that series is probably over, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jazz should close that out.
In Utah. And then we get Game 5 of a tied series, Mavericks Clippers. Who do you think is going to have the hot night tonight?
Luka.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on one like this entire series. He's been very good.
Can I say something about the Mavericks, though, Ross?
Yeah, of course.
If Kristaps is their second guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Kristaps was 2 inches shorter, he'd just be a really tall dude on the sidewalk. That dude is buns. That dude is not a good basketball player.
Remember when he was like the greatest thing to happen to the league?
Mm-hmm.
It's wild how quickly that all turned around.
And then everybody was like, "Oh, he's actually a terrible person." And then he was like, "Oh, well, I'm actually just a terrible basketball player. I just happen to be really tall." It's crazy that he's only 25, right?
Yeah.
Feels like he's been in the league for 10. It feels like he's been in the league for 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, he was a rookie in 2016. It does not feel like 5 years ago.
You mean 2006?
Yeah, it really feels like it. I mean, he's been playing professional basketball since 2012.
Wow.
Which is funny because how old would he have been? He would have been 17, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right, y'all. we're going to wrap it up for today. CJ McCollum, Damian Lillard, thank y'all very much for stopping by for today's show. Make sure y'all ready to play tomorrow. It's going to be big. We will be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time here on Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Same bat time, same bat channel. Go ahead.
Dame, GTFO, bro, you need to be spending more time on practicing on staying in bounds than to be on YouTube.
Oh goodness! I hope they come back. I hope they come back for tomorrow's episode. We'll be back here
before the game.
Yeah, we'll be back here 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Same place, same time. For Dylan Sanders at Dilly Sanders on Twitter, I'm Ross Jackson at Ross Jackson Nola on Twitter. Dylan, do you feel like we saved sports today?
Well, we're trying to save Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. They're trying to save Damian Lillard. They're trying to save their relationship to give them a chance to move on.
That's the biggest chore right now. So we'll be back to try it again tomorrow as we continue on here. Dylan and Ross say sports.